Good morning, everybody. Can't see it too well, but I know you're all out there. At any rate, sorry about our mode of dress today, but historically, whenever we've had a College of Fellows induction, we dress formally. And that's the way it is. It's old school, but as far as I'm concerned, that's the way I'd like it to stay. So just to let you know where we're going with that. Back in 1981, society leaders and the board of directors founded what I call a very unique enclave of the society. And in those days, it was called the Council of Fellows, recently renamed College of Fellows, per the recommendation of Tom Ricca, who the council / college approved. So we changed the name to the College of Fellows. It's the highest honor that FCSI can bestow on its professional members. Originally, back in the day, it was governed by one society. In those days, we had one worldwide society that was governed by the board of directors. Obviously, today, we've got 3 divisions and overseen by the worldwide board of directors. So when you see FFCSI next to a member's name on a letter or any other documents, you know that they've attained the highest honor that we as a society can bestow upon them. I think the pamphlets that you have on your tables or that you may have received coming in say a lot. It talks about a little bit of the history, but some very interesting points. 49 all-time members have been inducted. 22 are active, 27 deceased. But I will say this. If you look down that list in the pamphlets, you will see a lot of names you recognize. And if you don't recognize them, you've probably heard about them in the annals of food service planning and design history. And not only goes to the members who are TAD members, it goes to the members from all over the globe. Our good friends like Tassos Kilpappas from Greece, Ken Winch from England, Tim Stafford, Australia, and a bunch of others. And very interesting, if you were to take all of the projects, I forgot John Cini, Bill Eaton, all these people, Fred Schmid, Richard Flambert, the original founders. If you were to take all of the projects that these guys completed all over the world, I couldn't put a number next to it in terms of the net worth of those projects and the net worth of all the food service equipment that was specified. It's unbelievable. Today, we're here to honor some new members, new inductees, and they are the cream of the cream, the best of the best, have spent many years in the society. And I totaled up the number of years of practice that 5 individuals that we're inducting today have. It's over 200 years of practice. That says something. This is a historical moment, though, because we haven't had an induction since 2018. The reason being, obviously, COVID, and we had to make some adjustments to some of the rules and regulations. And I'm going to read this. I don't like to read from script, but this is important. Make no mistake about it. Approval for induction is a challenging process that is strictly governed by a very detailed application, review, and approval process. This requires a nominee's submittal of a variety of required documents that are verified by a special review committee selected by the College of Fellows, and thus all inductees in all of our divisions across the world are very carefully vetted before approval is granted by the Worldwide Board of Directors. And thus, it's a privilege and a high honor to be part of this esteemed group. And you're here today to bear witness to our newest inductees whose names in alphabetical order as follows: Karen Malody, John Radchenko, Harry Schildkraut, Howard Stanford, and Bill Taunton. Here today to help me with the inductions are two of our esteemed members, one of my fellows, so to speak, Mr. Ed Norman, who is past chair of the Americas Division, past president of the Educational Foundation, and past president of the Worldwide Board of Directors. Ed, would like you to come on up. And also, Mr. James Camacho is here with us. James is a past chair of the Americas Division, and also was board secretary and treasurer of the Worldwide Board of Directors, plus numerous other committees and boards over the years. So with that in mind, and in light of time, let's get on with the show. And Ed, the podium's all yours.
Okay. Thanks, Paul. Hi there. I prepared about 30 pages of speech. I have to beg for forgiveness while I put my second set of eyes on. Okay. All right. Well, let's get the show on the road, huh? Our first inductee, which I have the privilege to introduce, exemplifies professionalism at every level. And I'm confident that her clients and folks that she's worked with through the years have truly valued the relationship and the work product that she's done. And I know for a fact that FCSI has benefited greatly from her years of service to our society. I should add that she also enjoys a good cigar. Today, I want to congratulate Karen. I want to welcome her to the FCSI College of Fellows. And her nominator was Mr. Camacho. So Karen, I'd like you to come up and receive your medallion. And congratulations.
These cigars on the podium, please.
Those for later.
Yes, they are. One is for you, too.
And you what? Yeah. You do it. I'll put this pad in your pick that. Yeah. Yes, Eric.
26 years ago, I joined FCSI. It was a big departure from corporate jobs that I'd had for many years. And after all of that experience, it was still me being a new consultant. I went to my first conference. I knew nobody. And Ken Winch, who was supposed to be my buddy, didn't show up for the welcome your buddy and show them around. He stood me up. And so I had I had to get through the first conference on my own. And that was in Washington, D.C., my first conference. But by the end of the evening, I was smoking cigars with Chris Bigelow, taking the first professional exam with Bill Taunton, and dancing the night away. And by the end of that first conference, I felt like I'd joined a family. What followed were many conferences, years of committee work, lifelong friends, all over the world, actually. And I still remain a fervent believer in the educational provider program and the process of continuous learning, as you heard. And out of all this, I came to grasp what it takes to be a professional and a consultant in our very complex and fabulous industry. If I could say nothing else, I would say participation is critical. Show up. Be involved. It strengthens our knowledge base, and it opens up amazing doors of learning from our friends and our fellow consultants. And personally, I found it expanded and has expanded and will continue to expand, because though you kind of have to be old to be a fellow, I guess, I have no plans to depart this earth or FCSI quite yet. I believe why participation is so important is it expands your cerebral and your emotional intelligence, and it deepens your humanity. I would never have had the chance to meet our manufacturers, by the way, in the room, from whom I have had a remarkable education. And thank you for allowing MAS consultants to come to your seminars now. That was one of my harangues, so thank you very much for that. And I would never have developed a voice to promote MAS consulting and my passionate belief in helping people create their visions. FCSI has allowed me to develop a clear set of professional ethics, a code, and you asked me about this, Ed, to which I remain steadfastly committed. FCSI has given me the opportunity to share, mentor, and support others. To this day, I will take calls and return emails from anyone in this industry that wants any kind of support, thought, help, you name it, I'm there for you. Always have said that, I still mean it. So 26 years ago, and that's 1/3 of my life, I have been an FCSI member. I would never have imagined, ever, how important people in this room today are to me. Okay, here come the tears. Oh, God. Harry, it's okay if you cry. Relationships rich in love, respect, and appreciation. I still have the roots of my belief system as a person and a consultant, and I have hopefully never swayed from them. 1, love your clients and respect them totally. Listen, absorb, clarify. Learn something new every day. Be real, no bullshit. Be kind and have fun. So This is a culmination of years of giving a damn. I will continue to give a damn. And I've grown up amongst you in FCSI. I cannot thank you enough for everything people in this room have done, and many people who aren't in this room today who've done to allow me to become just better. And I'm so full of gratitude. And I think my time is up. I hate that. And my deepest gratitude to you, James, for finding me worthy of this nomination. I love you all. Keep being kind, good, and generous with each other.
I have the pleasure of introducing our next inductee. It was a cold morning in January of 1973, and I walked into an office in Toronto. Had hardly ever been, I think I was in Canada once for a couple days, Niagara Falls or something. I went up there to work with Keith Little Associates and Harley Little Associates, 2 offices. And I get there, and this guy comes out. First guy I ever met in the consulting world. And I'd like to introduce him now and talk about him just briefly. He has done just about everything. 60 years. Graduated in 1968, 60 years of practicing. He's still practicing. Never wavers, works very hard, constantly helping others. He's worked on some iconic projects. CN Tower in Toronto. I worked with him on the 76 Olympic Games in Montreal. On and on and on. The Four Seasons Opera House. And he's a consummate professional, a past president of the Worldwide Board of Directors, past chair of the Americas Division. I call him Mr. FCSI Canada for all he's done, and I know my Canadian colleagues in the audience would agree with me. This guy is just a powerhouse. I'd like to introduce Mr. John Radchenko.
Thank you, Bill. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bill. Really appreciate that. It's been a long time. Good morning to everybody. And, remember that old adage, good morning, Phoenix. I'm so happy to be here. It's a pleasure to be here. All right. It's actually kind of nice to see so many friendly and familiar faces. At least I hope they're friendly. We'll see. I am truly honored, privileged, and humbled to be included into College of Fellows. This recognition from FCSI is both meaningful, profound, and of course greatly appreciated. Words alone cannot express the depth of my respect for FCSI, its members, and the major role and influence that FCSI has played in my professional career. Listening to all the AI and ChatGPT, during the sessions got me thinking. So when I told my family that I was a recipient of this award, my 11-year-old grandson was so excited that he ran for his laptop and said, "Papa, I'm going to help you write a great acceptance speech." And I thought, okay, we'll see. So he did it. And the thing was that the speech was phenomenal. Like, it was awesome. I felt like a diplomat going to the UN, somewhere huge and humongous. Wow, that was fantastic. However, next day, I sort of had this scary vision, that all 5 of us were going to use AI when we're going to come out here with the same speech. So needless to say, my response will not be quite as eloquent or as impressive since I wrote this myself. I started this journey straight out of college, as Bill said, with a firm called Keith Little Associates, a well-respected firm in Toronto, Canada. At that time, we were known as kitchen planners or kitchen designers. I still remember using drafting boards. I don't know if anybody still knows what that is. Yeah, some of us do. Drafting boards, pencils, onion skin, I think it was called at the time, templates and scales. Well, the life has certainly changed. Our recognition of us as food service consultants was to come much later on. We were still the kitchen guys. Early on, I was part of a design team for the CN Tower and the Montreal Olympics, both challenging and inspiring. I have fond memories of Jim Little and I jumping on a plane early Monday morning, and working probably most of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then flying back on Thursday evening. We did this for quite some time. It was challenging, but it was interesting. It was fun. So while starting the design process for the Olympics, Jim realized that we needed help and maybe operational expertise. And that's when I first met a young Cornell graduate, a guy named William Caruso. Anyways, I've got to say, it was a rocky start at the beginning. He's American, I'm Canadian, such is life. Anyways. Bill, I want to thank you for all your support throughout the years. It's been wonderful, and it's so great to have a lasting friendship, that we've had. And the fact is that we're still reminiscing about all the things that we did when we were younger. Initially, joining FCSI was not that widely recognized. When I joined in 1987, that's a long time ago. It is 87. Many of my colleagues, sort of questioned my motivation. Why FCSI? Like, it's an American organization. What are they going to do for you? Well, I have to stop and think. At the time, of course, I was not thinking of any sort of long-term commitment. My response then was really quite simple. I wanted to be a part of an organization that promoted design in a professional manner, one that would make a difference in our clients' lives and operations. Little did I know how meaningful and true that theme would become in later years. What I found in joining FCSI was a worldwide community of professionals who care deeply about design, planning, and excellence in their respective roles. In essence, we truly do share, support, and inspire each other. I have fond memories of being in at FCSI. I've been fortunate to have had many people who have guided and shaped my career path. Mentors, as well as several tormentors. Colleagues and clients who have generally shared their wisdom, experience, and knowledge with me. Okay, and for that I am truly grateful. For me, FCSI was always more than just an organization. It is actually the glue that holds us together. It is a society of professionals who are impacting our industry, our environment, and our way of life. I am so proud to be a part of it. In conclusion, since we only have 5 minutes, once again, I would like to sincerely thank the leadership of FCSI, the COF committee, and the individuals who have supported my journey. It is indeed an honor, a privilege to be inducted into the College of Fellows and to be part of this wonderful society and amazing fellowship. Thank you very much.
The next inductee, I think many of you are familiar with. Again, he and I go back a long way. He was a disciple of Ernie Bangs, one of the early food service consultants out of Detroit, Michigan, who was a member of the FFES, Food Facilities Engineering Society, the predecessor to FCSI. Again, historically, when you look back, Mr. Harry Schildkraut, when he started working, coming from a hotel family in the Catskills in the early days, growing up in the industry, service was an honor for him, and it still is. Working with John Cini, Dwayne Grissom, and the early, Bill Eaton, the early cadre, when John started the firm of Cini Grissom Associates. Harry worked on hundreds and hundreds of projects, you name it, all over the world for many, many years. Later on, he and Kristen Sadeh formed a new firm in Chicago, and he went on to even greater heights because he and Kristen worked very hard to develop a strong firm that really led many segments and still do in the industry. He served on many boards. He was on the FCSI board of directors in the mid-'80s, again in the 2010s. He spent 39 years on the NFPA Standards Committee. He was treasurer of the Americas Division. And again, 60 years of service and another powerhouse person. I'd like to bring up Mr. Harry Schildkraut.
Good versions. Good. Back to she wears. Pride place on the wall.
It's about time, isn't it? Well, Bill, it's like you read this, so, yeah, I was going to talk about the early days, being a busboy, going to Cornell. I was going to be a big hotshot hotel manager, but Ernie Bangs convinced me otherwise. And People ask me, if you had to do it all again, what would you change? And I would say, not a goddamn thing, except I would have started my own business earlier. And that's the advice I give to the younger people sitting here, toiling away over computers and Revit and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you think you want to have your own business, God damn it, do it. You know, when I left the first 6 months, there was no paycheck. You know, it took a while. But we're doing okay, Kristen, aren't we? You know, so like Bill said, you know, I've been very active with FCSI from the early years, 1972, I think. I was a 23, 24-year-old kid working for John Cini and Dwayne Grissom, Bill Eaton, Ron Kuzer, and I was the youngest regular member of FFES at that time. And I wouldn't change a thing there, not a thing. I was privileged to work on some amazing projects very early, 23, 24 years old. I was in the kitchen of the White House doing renovation work there. A year later, I was renovating the kitchen and servery in the Supreme Court building. You know, and we were doing IBM cafeterias all over the country. I got a little story there. Dwayne Grissom and I were flying on Mohawk Airlines. There's a name out of the past. From Washington, D.C. to Poughkeepsie, New York for a meeting at 10 o'clock at the IBM project there. And Mohawk flew only 2-engine propeller-driven DC-3s. Rough flight. I threw up all over his shoes and my pants. Luckily, we had time to find a men's store that opened at 9 o'clock, and I bought a new pair of pants and helped him clean off his shoes. Talk about fun, huh? So, you know, I also worked on all of the food facilities in the Twin Towers of New York. I made multiple trips out of the country, working for Hyatt hotels all over the world, 4 times to Australia, England, Paris, Mexico. But then I heard about football stadiums. And the first one was the Dome in St. Louis where the Rams played at that time. And once you do one of those, you become an expert. And I think I've been involved in probably 20 or so NFL stadiums. And right now I'm actively working on 2 with a couple more coming. Right, Kristen? So I'm the go-to for NFL. Go Bears. But like I said, my greatest challenge was leaving Cine Little and starting my own company. And I remember one of the architects I worked with in Kansas City, and when I told him I was leaving, he says, I don't care what you call your company as long as I get to work with you. And, you know, that has stood me in good stead throughout my professional career. And before I finish up here, I just have a couple of thank yous. Number 1, my wife, over there. She has supported me throughout this wonderful time, raising our family, our grandkids, and just whatever I needed, she was there. And the second one is Kristen. Without you, Kristen, we wouldn't be where we are today. I am so happy that I am leaving that company in her hands. And as long as I can continue to be an employee, I love it. Like Bill said earlier, there's nothing I enjoy more than sitting at a desk with a roll of yellow sketch paper, a straight edge, and a felt tip pen, and designing a kitchen. And I turn around and hand it to Amber, and she puts it into Revit. You know, and I'm lucky I can spell Revit. You know, so anyway, I was fortunate in my career to meet many people. I mentioned John Cini and Dwayne Grissom, and there were a few others who were heavy influences in my life. Sandy Hahn, may he rest in peace. Ira Kaplan. And believe it or not, I once met Colonel Sanders. The real one, not the one you see on TV these days. I was in Chicago. It was before I moved here. I was staying in a hotel for the restaurant show. And that morning I got up and got on the bus to go to McCormick Place, and I'm sitting there, and who comes out of the hotel but this old guy with white hair and a white suit and a little bow tie, you know, with the things hanging down. And he comes up the steps and he looks at me, and I said to him, "Good morning, Colonel." And he says, "Oh, good morning, young man." And he went and sat down, and that was my meeting with Colonel Sanders. Thank you all. Thank you. And go Bears!
The next inductee also has a lifetime of service to the society, over 45 years. And he's a disciple of the late Sherm Robinson in Indianapolis, Indiana. Sherm was well known for his mentorship of many students, of many consultants over the years, and this gentleman learned from him. Many years on many of the boards of directors, the inaugural North American Divisional Board, the Worldwide Board, the FCSI Educational Foundation, multiple committees. And he's known to be one of those guys who all of us would say an expert technician, and really knows the business very well, and his clients are very loyal to him. And he's just, he's always stuck with it, with the society, and done great things over the years. And with that, I'd like to welcome Mr. Howard Stanford.
Oh, my friend?
How are you? Congratulations, Howard. Okay. Put this down as we have to.
And it's purple. My wife will love it. Hey, everybody. Truly an honor I didn't see coming. Wow. When I came into this organization, I was the second African American member of this organization. Sherman Robinson was the first. We got here, Sherman. And I never take credit for Bill's work, but we got to open up South America together. That's out to you, too. And when I stepped into the room, it didn't look anything like this. I was the only black guy, and there's a whole lot of old white men. And very few women. And in, 30 odd years ago, a group of 15 men invited me to a hotel room. It's not that kind of story. It's not. We were at a meeting, and one of the giants of our industry pulled me aside and took me up to a room, and I saw the probably 10 of the people I saw on my first day as a consultant. And we had made the decision to create the North American division, and that we were going to announce that at the business meeting. And that's how John Radchenko and I got to work together on the first board, and it just took off from there. I never thought I'd be chair, but I had a lot of really great people that mentored me along the way. I had Bill, Sherman Robinson, of course, Ira Kaplan, Stan Gatlin, Ken Schwartz, who's here in the room as well. I had the opportunity to work with and still stay relevant due to young people in this room that are going to carry us forward, like Sojo and Tara and Joshua and Robert Shibley and all of y'all who are moving this organization forward far beyond anything I could possibly imagine. You know, my dad blessed me with the ability to draw. My mom blessed me, or didn't bless me, with a drafting job in '81, and I've been here ever since. Truly love this place, the mentoring part of it. I love teaching and sharing, and I just want anyone in this room that thinks that there isn't any place to go. There are a lot of mentors in this room. Your mentors don't have to be your age, your color, your gender. There's a lot of knowledge in this room, and to take advantage of it. I, like Karen and everybody up here, we're a phone call away. You know, when we come to places like this is the time to do it. And so I know Sherman, the only lifetime member of FCSI, would be proud to see what this organization has become. So thank you very much. So thankful for the honor. And to have actually lived long enough to get this. That's pretty good. And
I'm going to call up in a minute James Camacho, but before I do, I forgot one important point. People have asked me for many years, what do you guys do? What's your role in the society? Are you just all the old guys and whatever, you know? No, that's far from the truth. I think there's two major items that we do, and I'll make it very brief. One is act as counselors to the various boards. Where else can you get hundreds and hundreds of years of experience with the society and the industry? You can't pay for that. You could never pay enough money. And secondly, and probably more importantly, act as mentors for all of you young consultants out there. And I speak for all of us on the stage. Anything you need 24/7, even if it's just, how'd you do this, or what happened then, or you have any ideas, you call us. We are all here to assist. James, it's all yours.
If you get some of those ideas in the middle of the night, call those. Really, it's okay. You don't mind, do you? Yeah, put my phone on. You'll put phone on buzz. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. They're old. They're all awake anyway. You know, they only sleep a couple hours a night. Well, at least that's what I found out here. It seems like I don't know if I'll ever get used to the change coming from God's time to the West Coast time. It's just, anyway, but Dr. Norman and El Presidente Caruso, thank you. If you have no idea why Bill Caruso is El Presidente, do not leave until you ask him about that. It is a story that has gone down in the annals of history in FCSI. So anyway, the other night, Mike Berard and I were speaking, and I'm not sure where Mike is, but Mike is the FES Consultant of the Year, Foodservice Equipment Supply Magazine Consultant of the Year for 2026. So I'm not sure where he is, but if you see him, hug his neck and congratulate him. But Mike and I were talking, and it's a very common thread. Everything you hear, it's relationships. You hear people talking about it. They've all mentioned it. And to me, it's still a relationship business, and y'all have heard me talk about that in the past. And the relationships that you join for the younger members, I mean, I'm just tickled and thrilled to see so many young folks here, like I was a few years back. But the friendships that you developed this weekend, the relationships you develop, not only with your consultant members, but with our allied sponsors and everything, it's going to last you a lifetime. And that's what makes FCSI worth it to a lot of us. But I have a tremendous respect and gratitude for all the members who are board members of the Americas or other boards and volunteering. And I have a really deep gratitude for those that serve as the chair, especially of the TAD division, because that's mainly where I am and where we're concerned. And a lot of them that serve, well, I just, look at some of the ones here and some in the past. Eric Norman, Bill Caruso, John Radchenko, and Christine Guillot just recently have been very fortunate because they have teams behind them. They have every other people in the office who've been able to help them. But then there are those like Ed Norman, Jim Peterson, and Bill Taunton that were 1, 2, 3-person firms. And the time and the commitment that they gave to FCSI has always been something I've really thought a great thing for y'all to do. I was fortunate to have a firm behind me so that I could go do things, be at meetings. But as a 1-person, 2-person firms, you didn't do it for the money. No. Really, we don't do this for the money, folks. We do it for the members. We do it for our allied members, our sponsors, and again, to the sponsors and allied members. We could not do this without you, and we would not want to do it without you. So thank you very much for always being here with us. But most of us flew here, and it was a 2, 3 hour, 4 hour flight. But Bill Taunton has a 10-hour flight from Santiago just to get to Dallas or LA or Miami, and then he's got to fly. And as his time on the board, I can't tell you how many times he did that flight back and forth to come for meetings, to go to NAFM, to come to our conference, to go to NRA, to go here, go there, representing you as the members. And then of course, Bill was worldwide president. So add another however many hours and hours in the air away from his company, away from family, for us as the members. One of Bill's dreams was the Latin America chapter. And when he started, it was him. And at one time, I know we had grown to 25 to 30 members, something like that. And it's because of what he did and pushing and making sure that Tad was going to support it. And this past year, we were in Cancun, and it was like, over 100 people in total. I don't remember how many members. But that's all because of what he did, and his dreams in the beginning. So, Bill, I would like to say it's my pleasure to introduce you, but I don't think that does enough. I just want to say it is my great and distinct honor to invite you to come on up and get your medal. Sorry. I'm proud.
Oh, very good.
No.
Very good.
There we go. We got you. Love you. Don't do it. Go ahead.
It
Can I cry now? This is gonna be short. If I can find my glasses. Oh, here they are. Wow. When I first read what this meant, excuse me. Wade, you say you're going to have napkins here. When I first read what this meant, I truly felt overwhelmed. The title of fellow is a special distinction that recognizes outstanding contributions to our society. Simply put, it's when your own peers say, this guy really knows what he's doing. Well, that's not me, guys. Becoming a fellow is truly a great honor, not because of the title itself, but because one should not receive an award for doing something he truly loves. That's my gut feeling. To be honest, I don't feel that I've done anything special. I was simply in the right place, in the right time, and said yes. Yes, not to be awarded, but to share, support, and inspire. First than anybody in my family, my colleagues, and my friends, in everything that life brings our way. I would especially like to thank, on this occasion, the FCSI people who have truly inspired me throughout my career for their drive, perseverance, and commitment. They're all amazing guys. And Norman, the one who changed the history of FCSI and made me part of it. Thank you. Bill Caruso, who once told me, pursue the Latin American dream and don't stop, I'll go with you. Thank you, Bill. He never stopped either. And my partner, James Camacho, an example of unwavering support, kindness, and wisdom. These three men are the clearest example of what I love about FCSI. Thank you, guys. I would also like to thank someone else who operates behind the scenes. Wade Keller, always by your side, by our side, bringing out the best of each of us. Thank you very much, Wade. I don't see you, but I guess you're around here. But the best part of all this is being able to share this recognition with my wife, Alejandra, sitting over there. I can see you. With my family, my partners, my team, and collaborators in Chile and Mexico today, and my clients, all incredible people whom I admire and appreciate. Colleagues, and friends, and professionals who work hard, whether they win or lose, but who always keep moving forward. In summary, thank you very much, FCSI. This recognition is one more push to continue giving my best every day. With this said, and with infinite humility, I accept this honor. And if I'm the first Latin American to receive this distinction, I hope many more will follow in the future. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to try to wrap this up now. I think Wade's probably freaking out, but, at any rate, one last time for some extraordinary people, over 200 years of experience here in our business. Give them a rousing hand, and thank you very much.